Also coming up, if you ever wanted to take consumer revenge, listen to one man scalding attack on the most pervasive coffee house in America. He's going to join us to explain why he has taken on Starbucks and how. Coming up next, revenge of a coffee lover. One man's battle against Starbucks.
Well, you're about to meet the most esteemed customer in America. Jeremy Dorison is so unhappy with the treatment he says he received at Starbucks that he's placed ads in the Wall Street Journal asking if others feel the same. And apparently quite a few do. This month alone, he says he's received 300,000 hits and thousands of emails at his anti-Starbucks website. Jeremy Dorison is joining us now from San Francisco. Nice to have you with us.
Good morning.
You buy a couple, I don't want to go through the whole history of your beef against Starbucks, but basically it boils down to the fact you buy a couple of $300 espresso machines from Starbucks, find them defective. Is that reason enough to launch a whole campaign against the company?
Certainly not, but the 14 steps that transpired in between that might explain it. When I went into Starbucks, I had been a coffee drinker and purchased their $299 espresso machine, which was defective on several occasions. During that time period, I purchased a second machine, which I gave away as a wedding gift, which it turned out had parts missing, rust in it, and it appeared used. And when I confronted Starbucks with the situation, I asked them to replace my machine again for a third time and give the bride who had received the gift a better machine. And that's when they balked. They didn't seem too interested in doing that at all. What they finally suggested was I take a machine of lesser value and give her one of higher value, which I would cover the cost of. And that didn't seem consistent with the type of service that they had advertised.
Well, they say, first of all, they did offer to replace the machine. Secondly, that you bought $300 machines and demanded that they replace them with top-of-the-line $2,400 machines, and that you also threatened them with the ads.
Well, what happened was I asked them to replace her machine with the best machine they have, not knowing what the price of it was. And when they told me it was $2,400, he told me in the same breath he wasn't going to do it. And I asked him the next one down. He said $450. I said, okay. And I figured the difference at their cost between her machine and the $450 one was fair. And they didn't seem interested in that either. And then I simply told them that if they weren't interested in listening to this or settling it in a way that I thought was fair, that perhaps other people would be interested in doing that. And so I took out the Wall Street Journal ads, and it just seemed to roll from there.
How much have you spent on ads so far?
Well, about $40,000 in the ads from 1995 and the ads from this last March.
But doesn't that seem a little bit out of proportion? I mean, if you have a beef over a few $100 coffee machine, why would you go out and buy $40,000 worth of ads?
Well, I don't think it's excessive at all. In fact, I think what the excess is this type of problem where consumers go in and are convinced by the businesses through their advertising that they can expect a certain type of service, and much to their surprise, they get quite the opposite. So I think this is a problem not just with Starbucks, but it's going on all across America. And the email that I've received on my website and people's response from it indicate that this is a problem that Americans in general feel with big companies that treat them poorly.
Well, it's a big company, but they got over 2,000 stores and 10 million people buy coffee from them, very expensive coffee from them, every week. So it would seem to me that there's got to be some relatively satisfied customers there.
Well, there are, but if you'll notice on my website, the email that I'm getting, the most surprising email isn't really from the people who dislike Starbucks or from the people who like Starbucks. The most notable email I'm getting are from people who are regular customers of Starbucks but are highly dissatisfied with either the coffee or the service, yet continue to go there.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's a complacency that people figure that this is the way it is, that they're stuck with it, and they had just... that's it.
Well, they can get a lot cheaper coffee at home or at 7-Eleven or wherever.
They could, but for some reason they don't. And I think that it's a sort of a cultural trend to just go ahead into big business and get whatever it is that you get, and that's what you're stuck with.
Do you feel a little bit like Don Quixote out there waging a lonely campaign?
Well, I mean, it's definitely something that people look at differently. Usually people are pretty complacent and conformist about things like this, and complaining loudly about big companies and going to the extremes that I have, some people find strange, but the majority by far is with me.
Complaining out there. Jeremy Dorison, one-man campaign. Good luck to you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, we take a break. Good Morning America continues.